Ladies and gentlemen, Raiders Nation, buckle up, because if you thought Thursday night's heartbreaker in the Mile High City was tough to swallow, wait till you hear this gut punch. The Las Vegas Raiders, our silver and black warriors, drop a gritty 10-7 nail biter to the Denver Broncos. Yeah, those same Broncos we've been kicking around since the days of the original AFC West Wars. But it's not the score that's got us reeling tonight. No, it's the sight of one of our rising stars, right guard Jackson Powers Johnson, carted off the field with a nasty ankle injury that got the whole Death Star shaking. What does this mean for a team already fighting tooth and nail just to stay in the playoff hunt? Stick around, because we're diving deep into this one, from the brutal block that changed everything to how the Raiders' commitment to excellence motto is about to be tested like never before. Let's rewind the tape on that chaotic Thursday showdown at Empower Field. It was classic AFC West mud wrestling. Wind whipping through the thin air, defenses swarming like angry hornets, and offenses sputtering like a 76 Cadillac on its last fumes. The Raiders clawed their way into a 7-3 lead early in the second quarter, thanks to a bulldozer run from our ground-and-pound backfield that had Broncos fans checking their tickets twice. But then boom, on a routine down block against Denver's hulking defensive end John Franklin Myers, Powers Johnson twists awkwardly hits the turf and doesn't get up. We're talking second quarter, prime time for the O-line to impose their will, and suddenly our anchor in the trenches is writhing in pain. Trainers swarm. He stays down, gets help to the medical tent, and before you can yell, "Just win, baby," he's wheeled straight to the locker room. The silver and black faithful watching from Allegiant Stadium, via those massive scoreboard, of course, held their collective breath. And if that wasn't enough drama, the Raiders D held tough. But a late field goal sealed a 10-7 defeat. Ouch. Double ouch. Now, let's break it down like we're in the film room with head coach Pete Carroll. Because if there's one guy who knows how to rally a squad through adversity, it's the man who turned Seattle into a beast mode powerhouse. Post-game, Carroll didn't sugarcoat it. He hurt his ankle legit, he said, his voice carrying that no-nonsense Pacific Northwest gravel. I don't want to go into any of the details, but he hurt his ankle. He'll be out for a while. Out for a while. Those words hit harder than a Max Crosby blindside sack. Powers Johnson, our second-round steal from last year's draft out of Oregon, wasn't just holding his own. He was dominating. Remember, this kid was a Remington Trophy winner in college, the Jim Thorpe of centers, the guy who pancaked linebackers like they were practice dummies. The Raiders smartly slid him over to right guard to shore up that interior line, and boy, has he delivered. Through 7 games this season, he's been a wall, allowing just 1 sack and anchoring run blocks that rank top, 10 in the league for yards after contact. Without him, that is a seismic shift for an offense already averaging a measly 18 points per game. Enter Alex Kappa, the veteran road warrior stepping in at RG. Kappa's no slouch. He got starts with the Bengals and Buccaneers under his belt, including that Super Bowl run in Tampa back in 2020. But let's be real, Powers Johnson's youth is nasty streak, that Oregon-honed footwork. It's a different animal. Kappa's solid technique sound, but he's got that journeyman vibe, more chess master than Street Fighter. In limited snaps last night, he held his ground against Franklin Myers, but you could see the Raiders' rhythm stutter. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell, our homegrown gunslinger, who's been slinging it with poise beyond his years, had to dance a little more in the pocket. No surprise the run game dipped from 4.2 yards per carry pre-injury to under 3.0 after. It's like pulling the keystone from an arch. The whole structure wobbles. And in this division, where Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs lurk like sharks, and the Chargers' Justin Herbert can carve you up on a dime, timing couldn't be worse. But here's where things get really interesting, Raiders faithful. Because this isn't just a line shuffle. It's a chapter in the epic saga of Las Vegas' rebellious gridiron legacy. Think back to the Oakland days, when Al Davis stormed the league with his pirate ship swagger, screaming the autonomy of the quarterback, and building dynasties on the backs of legends like Jim Otto, that Iron Man center who played through broken bones and came out grinning. Or the LA era, with Marcus Allen gliding through the fences like poetry in motion, racking up 12,000 yards and an MVP trophy. Fast forward to now, Powers Johnson embodies that commitment to excellence ethos out-etched into our souls. At just 23, he's already got the pedigree, all Pac-12 Outland Trophy finalist vibes, and he's channeling the spirit of Gene Upshaw, the Hall of Fame guard who led those 70 Super Bowl charges against the same Broncos we're tangling with today. Statistically, the Raiders O-line with JPJ in the mix boasts a 78.5 PFF grade, third best in the AFC West. Without him, historical precedents aren't pretty. Remember 2019, when Colton Miller went down early, the sack rate tripled, and we limped to a 6-10 finish. Or 1983, post-Super Bowl 17 glory, when injuries ravaged the line and we missed the playoffs. This could echo those dark stretches, dropping our win total projection from 7.5 to maybe 6 flat if Kappa can't elevate. I caught up with fictional fireside chat. Okay, let's call an exclusive scoop from Raiders beat legend Victor Ford, who's been chronicling this franchise since the black hole was just a smudge on Oakland Coliseum blueprints. Look, JPJ's not just a guard. He's a heartbeat of that front five. Tafur opined over a virtual espresso. Losing him is like Madden losing his play-action fake. Everything feels a beat off. But here's the silver lining. It lights a fire under Crosby and Wilkins. Max? He'll be sacking souls to compensate. And O'Connell? Kid's got that Stabler cool. Remember Ken's ice water veins in the 76 playoff miracle against the Pats? This could forge Aiden into next great Raider QB. Spot on, Vic. And from the locker room, imagine this. Wide out Devontae Adams, pulling no punches in a post-game huddle leak. JPJ's our rock man. That block he made before going down set up a 12-yard gain that kept us alive. We're family. We rally for him. Next week against the Chiefs, we're coming with vengeance. Pure Raiders fire. Even a fan voice from a nation. Picture Big Al from Henderson, tailgating staple at Allegiant, hollering into my mic. Injuries? We've seen them all since Bo Jackson's hip went pop. But Raiders Nation? We bleed silver. JPJ heals quick, and we'll chant his name till he trots back out, peering into the crystal ball. Because as your go-to Raiders whisperer, I live for these what-ifs. This injury ripples far beyond Week 8. Short term, Kappa starts Sunday night against Kansas City, but expect more quick passes from O'Connell, leaning on Adams' route-running wizardry. He's already got 650 yards and 7 TDs, outpacing even prime Charles Woodson in pick-six lore. Wait, no, that's defense, but you get the crossover cool. Run game? Hand it to Zamir White 20-plus times. The guy's a freight train, averaging 5.1 YPC when the line's fresh. Long-term implications? Playoff odds dip from 28% to 18% for the sharpest models. But hey, remember 2021? We were 6-4 with injuries galore, then stormed an 11-5 miracle, snagging the AFC's number 1 seed behind Derek Carr's heroics and AD that terrorized Tom Brady. This could force GM Tom Telesco's hand at the trade deadline. Maybe snag a vet guard like Mekhi Becton from the Jets for a mid-round pick, or eye the draft. With our slot at number 12-ish, a tackle like Oklahoma's Jacob Sexton could pair perfectly with JPJ upon return. And don't sleep on the mental edge. Adversity breeds legends. Think John Madden's Sweet 76 squad, battered by injuries yet hoisting Lombardi No. 11 after gutting out the Vikings in the mud. Powers Johnson? He'll be back fiercer, maybe even all-pro by season's end, turning this setback into his origin story. Folks, in a league where dynasties rise and fall faster than Justin Tucker field goal, the Raiders' tale is one of defiance. The pirate flag waving high over the Death Star, from Oakland's gritty roots to LA's Hollywood glare and now Vegas neon blaze. We got the ghosts of Bo Jackson hip-checking linebackers, Howie Long sacking souls, and that eternal rivalry with the Donkeys, where we won 68-51 all-time edge, including those 3 straight Super Bowl thumpings in the 70s. Pop culture tie-in? This feels straight out of Tarantino flick, gritty, slow-mo agony on the turf, but with a comeback soundtrack by Ice Cube, our very own Raiders superfan. Current events? With the world buzzing about AI takeovers and space races, here in Silver and Blackland, we're battling entropy one snap at a time, proving football's the ultimate human drama. So, Raiders Nation, here's my call to arms. Fire up those grills, crank the Raiders anthem, and pack a legion for the Chiefs showdown. Chant for JPJ, bleed for the black hole, and remember Al Davis's words. When one for the Gator, we've conquered worse. 1978 excess, immaculate reception revenge. 1983's tuck rule precursor glory. This ankle tweak, just fuel for the fire. Tune in next for live coverage, because when the Raiders roar back, you'll want to be right there screaming along. Just win, baby. This is your Raiders Report. Silver and black till we die.